Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the OB48 Paladins Patch Note Show giveaway. Everybody, we're here. We're excited to be with you today. It's Friday. We feel good.
It's Friday,
it's
man.
Friday.
Yes,
You can do stuff like that on Friday.
And new stuff coming to Paladins. It's always fun.
Lots of stuff.
Exciting.
So.
I mean, Thomas, you and I were just talking before we get into it. My name is Rene. This is Hi-Res Holt. Thomas Holt, the lead art director for Paladins. We've got Rory, the design man here for Paladins as well, holding things down for us. We're going to have a bunch of different guests throughout the day to talk about all the new reveals. But Thomas, you were just telling me this is a patch that you guys have been able to get a lot of stuff and people have been asking for.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this patch. It actually, I hear from people all the time on streams, on my Twitter account, Reddit, like across the board. This patch has something for almost everybody. There's so many requests that I've been constantly getting around this, including, we did all the spray art in this last one. Over 100 different, card art this last time for over 100 different cards going in. And we're about to start bringing some of those in as sprays. So
you mean we getting some more sprays this patch?
We're getting sprays.
Well, let's take a look, if we can, at the sprays we're going to be getting for this new patch. Look at that. Oh, baby.
So good.
Oh, so good. That pip in that left.
So tell me now, Rory, maybe you walk us through, how do you just get sprays, just for people who may not know?
So in the Radiant chests, you have a small chance to get the gold version of any card in the game. This will actually unlock both the gold presentation, which kind of the frame for it will update to be gold, but also you'll get a secondary item, which is a spray, which is a version of that card art with the spray. So if there's a favorite card art you have in the game, you can spray it on a wall and show it off.
So it doesn't change the actual card, but it does give you the access to the spray. And again, Thomas, it's such a cool thing that we've been doing now. And I guess such a cool way to reward the art team as well, who get to see their art that they put in to rush for these, finally these champions being done and the new champions coming up, getting all the temporary art out of the game. Now turned into sprays. People can have fun with them. And
the 2D team's done an awesome job. And the fact that we've got the card art now coming with the champions instead of being delayed, that we got all that temp art stuff out of the game. And then what I think you'll see from here on out is every patch, quite a few sprays coming in, along with some other unique content.
That's excellent stuff. We'll talk about unique content, Thomas. We have you here to talk about skins and stuff like that, so it must mean that we've got something else as well. Our green screen, if you notice at the Paladins game stream that Mick and I were doing earlier today, we didn't have it. That's, I guess, somebody stole all the money green out of this world to put it into the realm. It seems like we got a new skin for the man everyone's been waiting for, Bomb King. It is going to be Business Bomb King coming at you.
He's all business. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Thomas, talk about going through this skin and what this means for the team, how you guys went about it.
Well, I think this is a good one. Bomb King is a favorite. He's obviously been played a lot lately. But the last kind of real kind of theme and kind of skin that we were able to do for him was around Halloween. So there's a lot of people who've been kind of wearing that awesome pumpkin skin for a while, and but he needed a little something new. So,
he really did.
Yeah. So he classed it up a little bit here.
So, I mean, oh my God, I think that you got to say His Majesty, the back of the sign.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. That's currency of the realm. Is that a little bit of lore as well, maybe?
We can't get into that.
That cloak is my favorite part for sure. I love seeing the cloak.
Yes, so it's so good, and we're doing a little something different too for how we're getting this guy out to the people.
Yes, we are.
So he's going to be a direct purchase as far as going in, and he is going to be a package. So it'll be a direct package. You get both the accessory, the head, and the body together.
So usually what you are saying is that the typical way we've been able to purchase skins has been kind of through an individual item. Now this is a collection where you're going to get both pieces for one kind of single purchase.
That's
and then you can still mix and match however you want, but you're just grabbing all the items from that collection together. It should be cool. I'm sure most people don't want just one or the other here. You got to get all of this one. Business Bomb King coming to the realm.
It's kind of like the Space Hunter collection, right? It's the feedback we got from that and how people liked getting the whole skin together. We tried to kind of extend that and try different skins.
Yeah, it seems great. I know if I like a collection, I'm probably getting all of them anyway, so it should make things a lot easier and simpler to grab what you're looking for. The next one, though, there's been a lot about this. I know a lot of fans of this champion, and excited to see her get some love finally. Some feline love here for our girl, Maeve. She's going to be getting her new skin, Maeve Alley Cat, I believe.
Yep.
Ooh.
There you go.
Simple and elegant.
Very nice.
Oh, it's wonderful. So it basically it hits our theme. Everything else, it's one of those things we've been talking about even as we were designing the character. And so it's good to be able to get a skin on her, as quickly as we've been able to. So similarly, she's a collection.
Wow.
So you'll be able to direct purchase her, and you'll get the head accessory, with the ears. You'll get the coat and the body and stuff, and then she also has a weapon for this one as well. So it's all 3.
I have to tell you, Thomas, that there's so many aspects about this that I think are great. First, the ears. The ears are just adorable. That is awesome to have as a head for any kind of Maeve outfit you're putting on. But the cape, the cloak here, the little paws, the tail. I mean, these are the small things that really, I think, bring life to
it's adorable.
Yeah. So it's a great thing. We got an awesome character team, character concept team, and 3D team, and it's cool. We get excited. You hear the voices come up and people getting psyched. The other groups in development and stuff as they see the concepts, as they see the model coming online.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're putting all of this stuff through playtest and testing it to make sure it goes in, and it's good. I'm looking forward to playing her in live.
I might have to stop being trash with this champion. I'm absolutely horrible with Maeve. I have to see if I can improve my game and rock off this skin in OB48. Now, this is a game that everyone cries for skins each patch. We have a lot of champions coming out. So, we've already got 2 great skins. I mean, that's got to be it. That's got to be it, right, guys?
Couldn't be.
No.
Could it be?
No.
We can't go back.
No, they've been bothering me. Like these people in stream constantly. There is one champion that I hear more often than anything else. Well, actually, there's one Sneck that I hear about more often than anything else.
Johnson.
Yeah. So we got a little love for Maldamba. This skin is amazing.
Wow.
It's been in the works for a while. The character team really knocked it out of the park, and the Snake is so good.
So this is a 2-parter here because we've got an amazing skin coming out for Maldamba and a very unique and interesting way of getting that skin, something different that we're trying out. And Rory, I want to give it to you to just maybe kind of showcase and open up with what the whole strategy is with this.
And so as you guys have known, we've kind of been experimenting with different ways to package the content and really actively been looking for feedback from you guys on what you enjoy most and how you want to unlock this content and what really is the most fun. So we're trying something new this patch with the this Maldamba collection that we'll see is here in a second. It's going to be packaged in a chest, but this chest is actually completely different than any chest we've done before. First, just because it's Friday, we're feeling good. The very first roll of this chest for everyone in the entire game, if you've ever played Paladins, you log in, will be completely free. So everyone gets 1 free roll of this chest. You could just get the Snake on the first roll. You can just log in one day and get it for free.
Free Snake?
Free Snake.
Free Snake.
And actually, from that, too, we wanted to kind of see if we can get more kinds of content in the chest, but we're always about making sure that every chest roll you pick up is worth your crystal spend. So to get more lower level content like voice packs and sprays and stuff in there, we wanted to be able to bring the price down. So actually, after the first free roll, every roll after that will be 40 crystals. And that means that now we can start throwing in voice packs in there, which are normally 50 crystals. So you already get a 10 crystal discount on those. So everything in the chest is at 40 crystal roll and at a huge discount. But there's a lot of cool stuff in there. There's going to be the Drogo's Dread Hunter if you haven't picked that up yet.
Wow.
And the voice pack as well. There's going to be the Buck Kingpin in there as well. So a lot of cool, really awesome skins, plus a bunch of voice packs and emotes and poses. And this skin, which is exclusive to the chest. But it's 1 free roll on the first one, and then 40 crystals every roll after that.
So this is a 4-piecer right here, it seems like. You've got you've got the voice pack with this guy. You've got obviously the head, the body, and the weapon, the free Snake. Everyone's going to be hoping for that one. I mean, this is just incredibly cool.
This is the first time a voice pack will be chest exclusive, right? Because the chest price is so low and the voice pack is in there, there's not a direct purchase price for the voice pack, so you have to roll it through the chest, but the chest is super cheap to compensate.
Yep.
It seems really, really cool. I would be excited about this. I'm sure even Garrett the Greedy over there, who's our man, just rotating the Maldamba, is excited about that as well. I mean, he's a very typical staple champion in our competitive metas. He's a very well-liked, very personality-driven champion. So this chest is really cool, and to see a new take on how to get it and how to achieve some of those items is going to be really exciting to see how that works out.
Now we need a new name for Olong Johnson.
That's right.
Fancy now.
Yeah, well, it's the Snake is a girl, right? Like, you guys named her Johnson? Like,
well, it's Olong Johnson.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Okay.
Johnson's the last name.
So.
Okay.
See? You see?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Olong Johnson, he's a little too kind of classy Victorian for that.
Yeah.
He is.
A new name.
I agree.
Bang up to the elephants, all I say.
Very dandy, Roy. Very dandy. We have a, I think, great. I want to just commend everyone from the art team, and especially just working so hard to get these skins out. There's 3 of these great skins, and again, to top it all off, this Maldamba Victorian, we have a chance to see it in game here and
snack.
take a look at some of the effects and all of that. That snack just, gotta have that one.
So wicked.
So good.
Look at those. I love the fangs in the jaw and how it just comes together. Just so wicked.
It's blue, too.
Yeah, well, that's the shadow for being in this map. But the weapon here, like I said, across the board, you nailed it. The art team has really been going above and beyond. We've got some amazing content upcoming, and this patch, I think, is a good start to kind of see the pace and see the type of things that we're going to start kind of getting out on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
But like I said, this patch for me is really exciting because these are things that people have been hounding me for a very long time, and so it's good to finally get this out to the players. Hopefully they love it, and the fact that we've been able to package it and get it to them at kind of this discounted price and see how this kind of structure works. I'm really excited for it.
Can't wait for this free snack. We can see all the abilities when they're ready to be used. It'd be awesome. And of course, he's got a voice pack, which we'll see soon. But what's
we gotta see the ult.
Yeah, I think that's the big one that everyone's gonna be looking for.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice. It's even got the Victorian. It's got the inside the ult. Wow.
Yep.
You know what? You're right. This whole patch has like stepped our classiness up as a game in like twofold here, I think.
Yeah, we're like business kings.
Yeah,
you know? We gotta be fancy.
You got the jacket on. You're not wearing a collar shirt.
Too. I love the fact that Business King is pinstripe.
Yeah. No. Okay, we
bring it back.
We have a voice back here available for you all to listen to as well. So let's hear a few of these.
Fantastic.
Lines.
You're almost at my level. Don't be jealous. I have no words. Fantastic.
An enemy is immortal.
Poppycock. I'll use small words for your sake. Strip away a man's flesh, his blood and bones. Will you find something left? Let's find out.
I have to say that
If you feel something...
An enemy is godlike.
Snake. Why are you looking at me like that? I'll use small words for your sake.
this is actually one of the most incredible voice packs I think I've ever seen. Or heard, actually, to be more specific. It reminds me of, I'm a big fantasy fan. I don't know if you all have read any Brandon Sanderson, stuff like that. But he always has these kind of high, elegant characters in it that speak in this kind of haughty way, like, I'll keep things simple for you, young man, since you don't understand. I'm going to kill you all. And it's like, it reminds me of that so well. The voice lines are so on point. He feels like a completely different personality, and I think that's what to me is so exciting about that skin. I cannot wait.
That's one of the fun things about skins is you can take a whole new theme, a whole new take, take a character. Obviously the gameplay is the same, and you know that from a player standpoint, but you get a whole new view on it. So it's nice.
Well, a whole new person has actually joined us here. It's Garrett.
That would be me.
Garrett Martini. Do you like martinis?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
All right, there it is. If you didn't, I would say something's weird there. Garrett Martini, designer here for Paladins, and he's going to be actually here to talk about something that's pretty exciting.
Very exciting.
I'm not sure if you guys know what it is. I think
we had something else this
time.
patch.
We have something else. It's not a skin. It's not a spray.
No.
It seems like it is maybe it's not mount. It's not that. It's not a map.
It's not a flank or a damage.
It's not a damage. Oh, those are types of things.
Those are champions.
Those are champions. Wait, do we have another? Is it that time?
By God, we do.
By golly, I think it's a time. You guys have been waiting for it. It is OB48. We're messing with you. We're trying to tease it, elongate it. We know it's time right now to talk about the brand new champion coming out in OB48 that will be your new support to enter the realm. It is Seris, the Oracle of the Abyss.
Look at that.
Yes.
Baby.
Yeah, she is
Mama.
by far one of our coolest characters, and is she's a beautiful rendition of what fantasy means to our game and how we really get to mess around with the elements of the game's theme versus the shooter core of it. You guys have a good time ahead of you.
Yeah,
We'll say that.
There's so much to get into this, but Thomas, I mean, talk about the look here. You mentioned to me part of her look was something that fans have been wanting to get into this game for a long time.
Well, it's something that like both fans and us as devs, right? Like you know, the realm's a great place, a lot of diversity, and so as we do that, there's quite a few archetypes and types of characters and types of tone that we still want to get into the game, and this is definitely one of them. So you know, we've got a lot of humor, we got a lot of like lightheartedness, we have a lot of heroicism and stuff in the game, but we kind of wanted to show a little bit more of that dark side, and so we've got a few other dark champions kind of coming, and but this is kind of the first, and so you know, she's an oracle, she's mysterious, it's you know, no one knows kind of where she's from or what's going on, and she has this cost. We'll get a little bit more of that as we show our gameplay. But from a visual standpoint, it gave us kind of an opportunity to kind of like, you know, use some different stuff than we've done for some of our other champions, and allows us to kind of create a good separation between her and like Ying or Pip or you know, some of our other champions.
She hits that note so perfectly.
It's really interesting noting that like Pip and Ying and Grover and Grok and even Maldamba a little bit all have a little bit. They do have some of that humor, some of that lightheartedness to them, despite what they're all doing. They kind of carry that same tone, and she really does go a different route. And it makes
she's
it
all
very
business.
interesting. She's very business. Bomb King and her would get along this patch as well, and I'm sure most of you will. As we get into game, Garrett, you know, you kind of were really spending a lot of time working on this champion, and late at night, early in the morning. I want you to kind of go through all of the abilities here, but before we even get that, talk about what Seris brings to the realm as a support that's different than all the others.
Absolutely. So the first thing you're going to notice is, hey, there's no gun here. She is the personification of a Paladin's fantasy character, and this is our true execution on having magic in the realm, and I think we did some pretty cool things here. So if we want to go ahead and fire the in-hand after we're done with this really sick emote spam. There we go. So
what are those?
Okay, so her in-hand is called Soul Orbs. These are these slow-traveling projectiles. However, these qualify as area damage for a very special reason. When those hit an enemy, it does not stop as a projectile. It continues through them. It passes through them, through their body. On whether those projectiles are in the material realm or in maybe somewhere else is a little, it's left to be decided on. But as you can see, it's passing right through the enemy characters, and also it's applying a stacking element. You can see the counter above the in-hand down below, and also on your enemy's UI. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, stacking right up. And we'll get into how her abilities interact with that later on. But as we did mention, she is a support character, and we'll need to go over to the Fernandos and Cassies to kind of display this ability if we can. But
she already killed Skye. It's a great start.
Oh yeah, that's it. Too much DPS.
Too much DPS. Nerf this, man.
But yeah, the hallmark of all of our support characters in Paladins is that they can heal. And she can too, but in a very cool way. So she strengthens the soul of her ally, and it's her first channeled heal in the game. Or maybe Maldamba kind of projects a hot with an instant fire trace. She locks onto a target, and as soon as she hits them, is in channeling this beam of soul magic into them, strengthening their soul, healing them up, and really just supporting their cause on the battlefield. As you can see, it does go through walls. So once you make that connection to your ally, your helpful spirits can travel through the dimensional. They don't really care about terrain or anything like that, which really leads to some interesting gameplay situations.
Yeah, I mean, that's a unique thing as well. I mean, even though she has to initially have line of sight, being able to move away into cover while she's still healing, doing her job, allows her to kind of kill two birds with one stone. She could stay safe so that she can re-enter the battle, and of course she could keep doing the healing. She doesn't actually need to look at Fernando as she is. She could turn around.
She absolutely could, yes.
Run away and still be doing it. Will it break, Garrett, if you go too far? Or will it, as long as you start the channel,
as soon as you hit the channel, that thing will not break unless you or your target die or you are stunned.
So it's all about the distance that you can activate the channel, basically. Yes. That is the limiter. And she's got some legendaries that can adjust that as well. Thomas, this is a different effect than we've seen in most of Paladins thus far. Was it interesting kind of putting this into a new champion?
Yeah, definitely. So for us, it's a fantasy shooter, right? Which is not two things you kind of really see together, but it affords us some opportunities that I don't think you get in some classic or modern shooters that are out there. And one of those knows is magic, right? And so this is something we wanted to do for a while. We wanted to do a caster, a true kind of magic-based character. And so with this, you know, her actual like weapon asset, like if you go in and equip your weapons, is actually the censer. It's an incense burner kind of thing to her left that you can see that she draws from as far as for her power, for her reload, and her base fire. So
let's get that reload. That's beautiful.
Yeah, there you go.
So good.
The animations on that are wonderful. I mean, one of the people looking at Garrett is, you know, this looks like maybe more of a pocket healer because there is no other healing to teammates outside of this right click.
Absolutely.
And as a result, you do see that it's a relatively low cooldown.
It's a low cooldown. It's a strong heal. So she excels at healing a single target over medium to long distances, depending on which of her legendaries you take. Where she falls short is AoE healing.
Right.
She does not have that option. So your Maldambas, your Grox, your Yings can potentially beat her in that scenario, but she definitely brings a solid, strong single target heal to the table.
Well, we've been seeing these orbs travel through everybody, and we know that they do a lot of damage and can control space. What happens when you get those stacks onto someone? Maybe let's talk about her Q here going into it.
Absolutely. So two things happen. The first thing you'll notice is that when you stack it up, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and you hit Q, boom, detonation. So each stack you put on an enemy will deal 100 damage to them when you detonate it. And because these orbs travel through like as many enemies as they pass through, you can have, theoretically, if the team is really badly positioned, 5 enemies with 4 stacks on it each, and then boom, your
20.
Q is going to hit them for a lot of damage. The one thing that we didn't see though, and it's her only self-sustain option, is that every soul charge you detonate also heals you for 16 or 15% of your maximum health.
Wow.
So she can't directly heal herself. She can't look down at the ground and throw a healing potion like Pip. She can't like soak in the healing totem, but that is your self-sustain option. Every 10 seconds, depending on your cooldown on Ren's Soul, your Q, you can get a very powerful self-heal. And it's very powerful, but it is conditional that you must be actively stacking your charges on your enemies.
Yeah, so now that she's had some damage on her, you can kind of see as she stacks up and she kind of detonates, you can see those souls that she's pulling you know, back into her weapon there as she takes her healing.
That is really, really strong. And, you know, although on the surface seeming very, very powerful, right, as a single skill, what does she have to give up to do these actions, Garrett? I mean, can she still heal while she's pressing her Q, while she's firing her orbs, or are these things that she's got to, like, say, I'm actively either doing damage now or I'm actively healing?
No, great question. So, yeah, that is the nuance of playing Seris, is that you need to be splitting your time between actively healing your teammates in need and stacking these things up. Because if you're not stacking these things up, you're not self-healing. You're not healing away all that poke. And if you're not healing your team, they're dying, and then you lose the game. Right. So, yeah, it's very important to have the duality there. And the fact, it's exacerbated by the fact that you are locked into, while you're healing an ally, you cannot do anything else right this time. You are committing to healing your friend, which also allows it to be more powerful.
And you have to, I found that to be, as we started playtesting, one of the interesting decisions. Do I keep healing? Do I spam some more to kind of help control space? I need my self-heal now. I'm getting low. Should I try and just, you know, make sure I build a deck that has some self-sustain while I'm healing my allies? Or do I just go full offensive here, see if I can get a full heal and get back to the action? So a lot of really interesting decisions to be made with her. Not necessarily low skill cap, I think, when she's coming out. This one, Thomas, I want you guys to talk about, because to me, talking about visual effects, talking about art, talking about style and direction for this, one of the coolest things I think is in Paladins currently, her F ability, Shadow Travel.
It's so good. This is actually,
it is unreal.
Probably one of my favorite visual treatments that we've been able to do on a character so far. So, yeah.
Would you look at that?
I just want to keep watching it happen over and over and over again. So, Garrett, you want to talk a little bit about like what she is doing during that and what that means for gameplay, and then I can talk a little bit about the treatment.
Yep. So, as our Oracle of the Abyss, Seris, transitions dimensions and walks between different realms, she will wave her censure in front of her. As soon as that action is done casting, and it can be interrupted, it's about, I think, 0.8 or 1 second time, so you have to do a little bit preemptively. Then you enter another realm. You become damage immune, and also you are effectively stealthed. So it behaves the same way as Sky's hidden.
This is a hidden and a ghost walk
combined into
for
one.
5 seconds.
Yep. If you can time it right, if you can get that animation casted, then you can really benefit from those things.
Oh, I bet.
And you can cancel it early too, and come out. You do incur the same amount of like pause time before you can take action out of it. but it's very handy in a battlefield situation where maybe like an assassin rounds the corner and you saw him coming, you hit this, and then you're get some freedom and you come out and heal your
because you're technically still on the battlefield, although you are immune like a Ghost Walk and you are hidden like Sky, you can still contest payloads, you can still contest objective points while essentially kind of being like stealthed and immune to damage, right?
Just like those other characters, you can definitely do that. Very strong. Generally, the supports are usually found somewhere near the objective.
True.
So this character can kind of take advantage of that fact.
They got to hold it down. You know, I don't know. Did we give you enough time to talk about this treatment?
Yeah, I mean,
Thomas?
like I said, I think it's gorgeous. The effects team did an amazing job with it, and altogether, this champion, I think, like I said, it's a type of theme and a type of character and overall visual treatment that we've been wanting to do in Paladins for a while, and the team has been really, really excited about kind of bringing to life in this. And I think you get to see it through her VFX, through the character model, through the weapon model. You know, you've got this hooded, blindfolded, mysterious oracle that I think is going to be a good addition for the battlefield.
It's going to be great. Very, very excited to see how that goes. Of course, no damage, no healing while you shadow travel, so you got to pay that cost. If you're going to stand there for, the entire duration, you are not going to be doing that for quite a bit of time. And if your team can sustain through that, well, that's going to be up to your team being at a very, very healthy point in the
There
game.
is that element, too. It's like, I'm protecting myself, but, like, my team is dying around me. So it's like,
sometimes,
be careful.
Sometimes being out of the fight for 5 seconds isn't a good thing for a healer.
But hey, sometimes fate is cruel.
That's right.
That's actually
that's
one of
right.
the lines.
And you know what? Fate can be even crueler if you happen to see a Seris and she talks something about the Abyss. I'm not exactly what. I don't know too much about it. I just know I want to stay away from it because when she puts her ultimate out, bad things happen.
You sure you don't want to gaze into it?
Bad things happen when I gaze into the Abyss, guys.
It's true. It's one of the things we've done with her as a healer in general that I think is different from what we've seen from the rest is, she's got this thing where, she's causing damage, right? And from that damage, she's pulling energy, she's healing herself. It seems like everything she does for good, whether she's healing a teammate, healing herself, there's a cost to it, right? And that was something that was really big into her theme, is making sure, it's like kind of that blood magic kind of idea of, there being a cost for everything you want to take care of. And this is the ultimate is one of those payments where, she gets a little bit of help from the other side.
So apparently that help is going to be helping all of her teammates as well. Gaze into the Abyss, Convergence is the ultimate. Seris casts her soul into the battlefield, and after delay, a tear in reality will manifest and drag nearby enemies into it, Garrett. This is the first of this type of mechanic in the game thus far.
That is, yeah. This is a really solid team fight ultimate. Granted, you can semi-follow up on it yourself, but you don't really have the DPS to truly capitalize on it, so you need the assistance of your team, but it can really turn the tide of a battle.
Look at that. Just so much setup potential as well. A lot of the ultimates in Paladins, especially from a support perspective, do good things at keeping teammates away. Even the Evil Mojo, right? You kind of all run away as chickens. You don't just group up and clump up together. Maldamba, the Dread Serpent, throws everyone away. This is a dream for a Victor who wants to have, use a barrage.
Oh gosh, Victor, yeah.
I mean, this is a dream for even just anybody looking to combo off of anything. It's really something that I think she's going to bring to the support realm that nobody else can right now.
Yep. And I want to mention that it is a true projectile that will only spawn your tear, your rift in reality that drags everyone to the center of it once it finds a baseable surface. So you can't throw this like off a map ledge and then pull people out into the hazard or whatever. Right. You do need it to land. It will bounce off walls if you throw it and stuff like that.
Garrett, if you throw it off a map ledge, will it just fall off the map?
It will just fall off a map ledge, yeah.
So like super NA ult right there, just basically.
There's potential to whiff, but there's also potential to wipe the entire team. So it's like you got to balance those two aspects.
Yeah, it's one of the things I'm really excited for. It's just that situational kind of awareness, like you mentioned, being able to kind of take advantage of position. I think it gives that, while easy to use, and you can use it for kind of some low tier stuff. When you're working with your team, when you're going for the objective, it gives some opportunities for some larger strategies. And you see it a lot with Maldamba. I think it's one of the reasons that Maldamba is as popular popular as he is, and one of the unique aspects that he brings is that is the fear, the fact that he can spread them.
Yeah.
And so she kind of does a similar type thing, but obviously in reverse.
Yes.
And I'm really excited to see the kind of combo plays that we see from some of our teams out there.
That'll be good.
To be honest, really one of the things I've always noticed from just a competitive perspective is that Paladins is very much a 1v1 kind of solo fight game, and we've slowly, as the meta's developed, gone into more group comboing, but we still haven't seen a lot of it. There's not a lot of perfect EV Ice Storms into 4 people, into Victor Barrages.
Well, this is your girl then, Evan.
I feel like this is the one. This could be the one that really gets people thinking, okay, what ultimates are we going to combo off of this? Players, champions may just be picked because of their ults. I mean, to really make sure they have a super effective experience here with Seris going. So I'm really excited. Now that we have legendaries in the game, we have another thing to talk about before we finish this up and talk about other things. So let's go into what she's going to be bringing.
Yep. We have her voice as well.
Oh, that's right. We do have her voice.
Some of the lines.
Why don't we do that at the very end?
Okay.
And then we'll talk about these legendaries. You can press U as well if you want to do that. So let's see. Agony, Mortal Reach, Soul Collector. Walk us through kind of the purposes and ideas behind these.
All right. So there's 3 kind of angles you can take to this character based on your legendaries of choice. So the first one, your default one, will be Soul Collector. This is you are empowering yourself basically with all the souls, and you're leeching little pieces off as you detonate charges in the battle with your Q. You stack a percentage health buff, on yourself, totaling out at I think 16% maximum life. Takes you around somewhere 3k HP. So it's very safe. It increases your HP. You'd be generally tankier, live longer to do more of the things, more of the heals, a bit more survivability. Granted, if you're like, okay, I've been practicing this character a lot now, my positioning's pretty good, I want to take the aggro option.
Right.
I want to go hard. So Agony is a little bit more malicious in its intent. Detonating your Ren Soul with 4 Soul Shard stacks will cause the victim to be stunned. Very powerful. It's a 1-second stun, and this really allows your teammates to follow up and get those kills. So definitely the more aggressive option there. And then the center one, this is the healer one. This is the I want to have my team win via their own devices, and I'm going to put myself in the best position to help them out.
Right.
This triples the range of your heal. It's very, very powerful because your heal, again, does not require... It only requires line of sight on the application, but not the channel itself. So, like, you can be a good distance away from the point, put it on your Fernando, and be completely safe, like 100 yards away. Super easy. Drop it down on also maybe flanks that are like, or Drogos that's way in the back line, healing, and you see him just in the air for a brief window, and boom, heal him up. Also, it increases the duration of the channel by 1 second, so it is also a throughput.
Yeah, that's big. It actually, what is that? 30% more healing for that single target. So that's going to be her legendaries that you have a chance at using, and we can pick one of those and head into the actual match to check out her voice pack here, which Thomas was talking about, to hear some of the lines that Seris will be bringing in, some of the personality the Oracle of the Abyss has in the realm. Maybe away from the Cassie.
Oh, I didn't have the voice pack equipped.
Don't have it equipped.
Oh.
GG indeed. All right. Well, that'll be that. No worries about that one. We do not need no voice pack for her. You guys will hear it soon enough as well. You guys gotten enough out of this patch. Don't even. And you know what I'm talking about as well. We will come back for voice pack if we can.
That's too bad.
But we are ready for balance.
Bye.
Which is an exciting time. We're waiting for my man Nick to get set up here, and well, I gotta find this guy. He was messing around with some cosplay in the back. I guess we are going into the cosplay room, Nick. Our offices have been moved yet again. So I see you found some toys. Huh.
Look at this.
Greetings.
Hello. Who do we have here today?
None other than His Majesty himself, the King. I'm back. I've been
Did you
slaughtering.
do the voice pack yourself?
I did.
You may
really
be my
good.
jester.
I've been slaughtering all those paladins of yours, Garrett.
All those Paladins devs.
Hopefully, Seris can stand up to the test. Huh?
I think she can.
We'll have to see.
It's been a good couple of weeks for you, Bob.
Sure has.
Sure has.
Master's Land, easy.
Easy.
GG, easy.
Yeah. No, that was seemed to be the case.
Except those District 69. Bugsy? I'm coming for you. You embarrassed me in the finals.
Well, you know,
I was this close, Evan.
Well,
I was this close.
Your Majesty, I know you had a really good. Can you just take like an 86%?
I need a buff. I think I need a buff.
Well, you heard the man.
What do you think?
I think you're wrong.
Well, let's get in some balance here. Maybe you know, Your Majesty. If
Thank God, Pretty Fair's not here.
Pretty Fair.
Yeah, that guy.
He was here earlier though, so he might have some notes.
He's the worst. Did you see what he did to me?
Yeah, I saw. I saw.
The thing is,
she is still recovering.
I don't want you to be like upset because you know everybody gets tuned here and there. You understand that, right? You know.
Not the king.
Not everybody can get buffed.
I decide. It is my realm.
All right. Well,
you have no power
why
here.
don't we
You guys love your job.
Why don't we get into this anyways, and we'll see how things go. I'm sure things will be all right for you.
Let it be so.
Excuse that as well. So starting things off, we are doing a general sweep, and this is important to note, with the slow cap cards.
That's right. That's right. There was some
explain that.
confusing language with how we'd done it before and how we rolled it out. It was on a per character basis, but we kind of standardized it just so it's clear across the board.
Awesome. So everybody's going to get that touch up who had those cards.
Yep.
As well as Androxus getting just some quality of life changes, extended weapon description to communicate the effective range of that weapon. Barrack as well getting a couple VFX fixes to Healing Station. So that actually only appeared in Spectator, so now it'll appear in Live, which should be pretty cool and helpful for you, as well as Buck getting some helpful treatments as well. The big note to start off with the balance section this time is Cassie. Cassie's getting looked at in some interesting ways.
She's getting a little love.
Let's see what you guys have to say. The King Garrett here. I
She
feel like
can
I should
have some help. She needs to keep up.
Okay. All right. Is that fine?
She may be my jester.
Okay. So we'll start out with Scout. Do you know what ability that is?
That is her ultimate.
That's her ultimate.
Poultry as it may be.
Oh, no.
Scout now increases Cassie's movement speed by 30% for the entire duration.
Right now, it gives her team-wide vision. I mean, you can see me coming, you can't see me coming. It won't save you either way.
Sure. And you know, a lot of
she's gonna need the speed to get out of the way.
I mean,
Oh god.
Gary, did we also feel that this helps Cassie in some way outside of just the vision?
Her ultimate, while very team-centric, wasn't really like I get an immediate benefit for myself. It was just kind of a nice thing that maybe I can pop it in a duel should I need, and I don't really have to be worrying about what everyone else is doing at the same time.
Right.
Granted, it still does the exact same thing, just in addition.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very cool, especially with the introduction of a lot of champions like Lex and Tyra who have that vision and can kind of do that for free. For Cassie only having that on her ult, felt a little bit weird. So making that a little bit more impactful, and I think that's going to be a great change for people who love Cassie as well. The other thing, she's got an adjustment to her card.
Oh, that's right.
A lot of what Cassie's we've seen do exaction. I mean, we've seen one player do big game, and now we're really largely only seeing the typical Cassie build, despite the legendaries come out. So to encourage, I think probably some more variety and I think efficacy in the blast shot build.
Nice.
Seems like we're adding drain life. An increase in the actual health that you will get back over it. I did go to college, actually. So we'll go from 75 to 300 healing, which is basically after you shoot your blast shot, you'll get a heal from that. It's from 75 to 300, now 100 to 400. And instead of it being from 75 to 300 over 3 seconds, it's 100 to 400
the separate ranks. Over
2 seconds.
I got you. Yeah, sorry, you confused me.
Yeah,
no,
sorry.
Basically, the idea is that a lot of our other champions, newer ones that have come out and some of our older ones, have lots of really strong self-sustain options. And a lot of hers were very conditional in regards to like healing only after you hit the shot after you dodge roll. And it's like, those are the only self-sustain options. Like, oh, okay. Or I'm in Androxus, I can just dash and heal. Or I'm Eevee, I can just blink and heal. It's like, Cassie was kind of lacking in this department. So it's still conditional. You still have to hit that blast shot. But now when you do, you'll get healed quicker and for a little more.
Great. What do you think about that?
Sustain. It won't save you.
It won't save you.
It will buy you time, merely delaying the inevitable.
So the next letter is B.
My favorite.
And
it's a good letter.
Is it?
B for buff time, boys.
Well, it is for Bomb King, but it is not. Well, let's just read it because you can kind of look at it like a buff, right? So
indeed.
Basically, let's try and say this in like a buff way. So your maximum health is going
kind of in a buff way?
Down from 2,500 to 2,400.
It is going down.
So you're
going down.
So you're slimming up. You're slimming.
Yeah.
It's like
went to the gym.
You went to a CrossFit class.
Yeah.
I know what that's like.
You CrossFit thing
overweight?
Oh my goodness.
No, Bob.
My metal shell is purely for protection.
Listen.
My health. You can't touch me. Who agreed to this?
Listen, we understand that, you know, as a king, it's easy to lose track of these things. We're just trying to help you out, okay? Not every meal.
Too many royal banquets. That's what it was.
It's going to be carbeless, right?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Take it.
No big deal.
Take it.
All right.
See if it changes my win rate.
So we have another, that's kind of another thing happening. Sticky bombs. So those, the bombs, they're going to still be the same. We're not hurting them. We're just meaning they're going to come out a little slower.
My stickies?
So they're going to increase refire rate of those from 0.6 to 0.7. Meaning that you're just gonna be more careful with them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like traveling in like quick, you know, I don't know, a bike versus now you're like a Rolls Royce. You're going slow.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Cruising.
You got time
down.
to chill.
You got time to chill.
Poppy.
Yep.
It's okay,
yeah.
Poppy.
So it is. It's a 1/10 of a second more in between your attacks. Still hit for the same amount of damage.
We're gonna be.
You're still gonna be. You're
still hitting hard.
You're hitting hard.
Right.
That's
hitting
right.
hard.
You got the guns for sure. And
it's okay, Poppy. You're gonna be just fine.
it's just you're not gonna be. Your shots are gonna mean more because you're gonna have to hit them more consistently. You can't just like constantly spam.
I'm sick, so I can do that. I'm nuts.
Yep.
It's okay, Poppy. You're safe. You're fine for
So
now.
a little bit more.
Maybe not Poppy.
A little
didn't
bit
touch
more
my Poppy.
execution-oriented.
Yeah.
Garrett is kind of what I'm getting. A little bit more execution-oriented, where you're going to really have to hit them. You're not going to just be able to kind of fire and forget. A little bit more pick and choose. And with the less health, that should be a thing as well.
Well, boys, it's been fun.
Well,
you know, the health, the sticky.
You're not done yet, son.
I understand. But you know, every king has his day. No king. You know, a very wise man once told me, no king can rule forever, my son.
I agree.
But there must always be a Lich King, a Bomb King.
I mean, cough.
I actually have never heard that one. I don't know
me
where your
neither.
old man got that. By the way, I'm curious what your old man even looked like, by the way. That would be an interesting backstory. But you're not getting touched anymore. Your legendary accelerant is, though.
That's right.
Just to make sure that you don't overshoot some of your flights.
You're triggering him.
We know how
he's unstable, Rain Day. You can't. Now let me plug his ears. Let me plug his gears.
Have you ever played baseball and you run past the base?
It's okay.
I've never played a sport in my life.
Well, Bomb King, have you ever played baseball? I don't think you have.
What is this? Man hit
We're
ball
just stopping you from
man
running
hit
past
ball
the
with
base.
stick
You had a
run
little
base?
bit too much mobility with accelerant, 60%, and now what we're doing is making that a little bit more reasonably to 50%. It's still an incredible amount of mobility for him, and this is largely the only legendary picked in a competitive aspect, and now he's just having that toned down a little bit.
Yeah, our competitive players super value mobility. It helps with positioning, and also when he was already hitting, he wasn't giving up a lot of damage with that choice.
Right.
It's like, okay, his bomb still hit for 900 every 0.6 seconds. Like
7 seconds now.
Now,
0.7.
yeah.
0.7.
But yeah, so going into Accelerant now, you still get extreme mobility. You just aren't going to be going from the capture point on Frog Isle to the enemy's spawn room.
Yeah, to like the next round, basically. That's how far you're traveling.
Into the
Me and Buck never skip leg day.
That you don't.
I earned that mobility.
You know that bomb hits you up, not the strength of your legs, right?
That's true. Give it credit where credit is due.
I'm sorry. That's it. We're not doing anything else. Bomb King, we're good. You and me have a good relationship. You're my highest champion rating.
Haven't been abusing. All right.
As long as Doseps doesn't abandon
Gotta get my rank wins while I still can.
Don't leave me, Doe.
Yeah, so
I
Bomb
need
King,
you.
Just getting a couple of adjustments here, and still largely going to be very effective if you know how to use them, but just bringing a little bit off the top so that he could see some more marginally normal performances outside of the Masters Land, which was a spectacle if you didn't see it. Drogos just getting a couple of card changes, and this is an important one to mention. There was a bug for Drogos, which was for Masterful.
Yes.
And essentially, what we've seen is that the card change actually was good. It was kind of like okay, and he was in a good, decent place with that. The reduced cooldown from the actual Masterful reset with this card, which has been a staple of Drogos, is typically from 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds at rank 4
Per target hit.
Per target hit. So
on a very large AoE.
Yes, and a very easily confirmed thing. So that reset was almost guaranteed to happen. And get 2 for free. So now the actual card change is going to be 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2 seconds at rank 4 max, meaning that in order to get the full 8 seconds off, you'd have to hit basically 4 people.
Yep. So the possibility still is there.
Yeah.
It's just you got to have a little bit more skill, a little bit more timing to get it.
Yeah. And so that's largely just a quality of life thing, I think, for Drogos as well. The character's got so many good things about him, and I think this is...
It'll be fine.
He'll
He's
still be
OP.
okay. Yeah. Drogus is never dead, I feel like. Here's who's alive, though. Let's talk about it. You know, because you do remind me, despite you dressing up like Bomb King, you kind of remind me of this, like, Spaniard in the realm that I've seen before as well. And,
Hola.
Oh!
Hola.
It is me.
It was! Don't worry, I'll
Nice
He is
catch.
unstable.
Solid reflexes.
I had to,
Good
man. I
idea.
played baseball at least once. So, Fernando, a lot of you have been claiming, calling, crying, dialing hotlines for Fernando buffs. And somebody has heard your prayers. So, Fernando
we have.
is
That
seeing
hotline.
an increased damage buff to his Flame Lance from 30 to 35 per hit.
Yep. So the tank's getting he's getting a little more heat to his fire. Generally, Fernando's performing very well. A lot of the perception around him probably is echoing from the fact that he isn't being picked up as much in the pro scene.
Yeah.
Mainly because there's just very strong other options, or the meta isn't really supporting him right now. However, we do like the character. We don't want we want him to be fun for you guys. And the Flame Lance was definitely an area where we felt like he was a little weakened. So we're tuning it up a bit. Let us know how it plays.
Yeah, awesome. Can't wait to try that one as well. Like Mando.
God bless.
For the win. Grok, okay, just getting a little bit of a description update as well. And so is Grover getting that treatment. That leads us to I. And I stands for Inara. You guys know I like Inara, and I've talked about Inara quite a bit. She is going to see something that a lot of people have been asking about for a long time, and that is an increase in her effective range by 25%. Walk me through what that exactly means.
Sure. So Inara's a bit of a unique champion. She's a bit of a unique weapon in that it is a projectile burst, which is new in and of itself, which typically means it's going to be a little more difficult to hit. So she has damage fall off, meaning the farther the enemies I'm hitting are away from me, the less damage I'm doing to them. We are essentially extending the distance that I deal full damage at. So you're not going to be as weak from the same range as you were a patch ago as you are now. So you'll be stronger.
Right. So someone who just runs a little bit outside of your range, you'll still possibly here with this buff be able to poke them out.
Right. You'll be doing full damage.
Do full damage.
Just kind of increase your influence on the battlefield. Just a general overchange. Because fall off, if done
She's
incorrectly.
a character with no mobility, right?
Exactly.
So she's the one
yeah.
that kind of struggles to get in your face, whereas Fernando and Mako can all have the way to get up in your face to do their damage. They don't have to worry so much about the fall off. It's just not kind of the case with Inara.
She's a character
She's
with
got
no
the
mobility.
M16 of the realm.
Yeah.
So pretty exciting stuff for Inara. Should hopefully help her in that weapon, which is not the easiest of weapons. That all three of the Peloton be a little bit more effective. When
it's a solid weapon. It just takes a lot of practice to get right.
Yeah, absolutely. She's also seeing the adjustment in cards again, as well as all characters are. Trying to go through all of this, make sure I'm not missing anything. Ooh, oh, here's an interesting part. Kinessa is actually getting a couple bug fixes and also a change to steady aim. Will no longer activate. This is her legendary that when you charge it up, you get bonus damage on the next shot that you hit. Steady aim will no longer activate when hitting deployables or shields.
Right. So that was a point of non-intentional abuse before. So it is player hits only that will trigger that.
Got it. Lex, Death Hastens will no longer activate when hitting deployables or shields as well.
Yeah, a bit of a minor touch on Lex there. It just kind of was out of the spirit of the character to like deal more damage to a shield because it had higher health.
Yeah,
really, he's the lawman. He's bringing in perps left and right, not shields.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
those barrack turrets didn't do nothing to you.
So essentially, a little bit of a nerf to that specific way Death Hastens was operating. It's now going to do a little bit less.
Sure.
Be a little bit more specific in terms of people not just being able to poke from range and hit those shields for such a high damage level.
Yep.
And we've also got some more coming out. Alex is one of the new champions here. Slightly
How does it feel, friend?
Slightly tuning him out. It's a psychological principle that when your team wins, it's we, and when they lose, it's they. So right now, Lex getting a couple nerfs. I'm talking to him about,
Is that it? Yeah.
When he has his heyday, I'll be back in. I'm Lex, but right now I'm separating myself from this right now. It's just tough. Magnums reduced damage from 700 to 680.
Yep.
And slightly increased the damage fall off.
That's right. So it's very important for our flank champions to bring damage to the table. It's something that's a hallmark of each of the characters and needs to stay consistent. Lex, however, through certain combinations of in-hand modifiers, mainly Death Hastens plus Headshot, plus the fact that it's an instant fire 700 damage around the corner, means I can take all of my equivalent characters around my HP pools down to like below 50% health like that instantly. And those kind of matchups just aren't really fun for the general player base. So we lose those a little bit. Granted, it's this interesting balance because Lex does not have as much mobility as some of our other flank champions, that some of them actually hit harder, like Eevee, for example. Granted, it's the nature for projectile that kind of balances that out. However, Lex can only slide forward on the ground in a very telegraphed motion. So there is a trade-off there. Maybe Lex should be doing more damage than the other flanks for these reasons. However, we are bringing it down a little bit more realistic. And the fall-off also is the purpose of that is to make him behave slightly more like a flank. And again, I'm going to bring up the mobility because, say Androxus, right? Also got a pistol, has 3 multi-directional airborne dashes that he can then coast for like infinite amounts of time from. So his Androxus's fall-off is still a lot harsher than Lex's. And Lex's fall-off is still less harsh than Androxus's. But we just toned it down slightly. So we're going to put you a little bit more in the zone that you need to be in, while still staying true to the spirit of the character.
Great. Yeah.
Is the plural for Androxus Androxi?
Androxi.
There's only one God Slayer, my friend.
Attention.
Androxus.
There's only one.
There are a couple other changes. This isn't it as well. There are a couple other changes to Lex, and I think these are interesting, and the thoughts behind them as well, pretty interesting. It seems like there's kind of a sweeping change of the spirit of the character and kind of what we're looking at doing and really kind of reconsidering how things function and why they function that way. And if it doesn't make sense, maybe looking at it so that it does make sense a little bit more to how we hope the character should be intended or except it was designed to be played.
Are you referring to the Fortitude?
I am referring to Fortitude.
How did I know?
How did I know? You mean it doesn't make sense for Lex to just shoot a wall and gain 600 health back?
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Stolzy. And all you other copycats out there, we're on to you.
Fortitude.
I see what you're doing.
Fortitude. I was saying Fortitude. So Fortitude 4 was basically a card that you could use and would heal you whenever you went into end pursuit, his right click. And it didn't matter if you were hitting those shots, hitting a wall, shooting a tree, the open sea, a bush, whatever it was, they were getting healed for 600. And we're basically saying that that's not really the intention of Lex. So the point is now, Fortitude will be reworked. So you could still get the heal off of In Pursuit, but now you will heal only 25 up to 100 health.
Basically, it's the same amount of healing, but you just have to be hitting a target during the attack. So you can't use it like a healing potion anymore. You can't be 100 yards away, take some poke, go behind a wall, come back to full health, and be like, hey, I'm back, guys.
So it's staying in the fight healing.
Yes, yes.
So a little bit more susceptible to cauterize, a little bit more susceptible to damage, but hopefully if you are trying to clutch out that last kill and maybe just need the right click to do it in a duel, that's going to help you out.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's changed Fortitude. Juke Boots as well. Same thing because of the slow.
The movements. Yeah,
the
slow
stuff. Okay. Seeing if there's one other thing here. We see still a couple more. Ah, here's a big one here. All right. So my girl, our girl, not Maeve, but Sky has
that's right.
had a lot of time.
Shout outs to Sky.
At the very, very bottom. And this is an interesting change to make that will maybe adjust that. Maybe get people playing her and looking at her in a different way. She's been notorious for not being played pretty much at all in the competitive scene and kind of being joked about in the high levels of play because she's very difficult to be effective with. So some changes here. Time Bomb will now be thrown.
That's right. You heard it. So, yeah, definitely a huge quality of life improvement for Sky with also some nuanced balance connotations. The nature of it before was that usually I have to stealth into a team fight and the epicenter that I want is where I need to be, right? So it's like the most dangerous. To affect the most people, I have to be in the most dangerous position.
Right.
As a character with, like, single planner, like, I can only walk.
Sure.
Right? Very difficult. When we have other characters that can shoot rockets from a million miles away, put themselves far less at risk.
Yeah.
So Sky's Bomb can now be thrown. The fuse does not start when you throw it. So that is a balancing point there. It will start once it hits the ground. So you gain the advantage of being able to do this from maybe the back line, or you have this really cool little peak that you got and you toss it over there. But you can't, like, be in the middle of a team fight or preemptively call something, throw it up in the air, and then wait 3 seconds and have it wipe the entire team from like an airburst
You
above.
take that stance too, right? You
Yeah,
stand
yeah.
there.
Cross your arms.
That was
Post
the
up on the
emote.
wall.
That was the emote.
Don't look at the explosions.
Yep.
So
I can think of another throne ultimate that might work well with.
Is that so?
that'd be cool.
Thinking.
We'll see. Might have to keep thinking on that one, Nick. The cool thing about it, though, I think, just from your perspective, do you think this will change some pros' attitudes, maybe some possible play styles for Sky at higher levels?
Definitely, because like Garrett said, like the ultimate's probably the best thing about her, right? The thing that no one else can really bring, that huge just explosion of death on. Well, Bomb King is kind of sort of that way, but destroying the shields and going through all the shields is a big part of that ultimate. Not having to put yourself at risk because it is such a risky character. Positioning is so clutch and so important on that character. Putting yourself in that very dangerous spot, a lot of times you're not making it out of there with that 1800 HP.
Nope.
Going to be exciting to see how that works. Hidden had a change. Duration has been increased to Hidden by 4 seconds.
Right. And the thinking here
4
is
seconds
that,
more stealth.
Yeah. So the cards were very strong.
Yes.
You were getting like +8 seconds more time from a card, which that kind of magnitude for your experienced Paladins players, is pretty rare.
Right.
We usually tend to tone it down a little bit. So we wanted to bring some of the power out of the card and just put it into the base, which will be just an overall quality of life experience for Disguise across the board.
All right. And so that's what we're seeing here. The hidden duration is actually going from 8 seconds now to a maximum of 4 seconds in the card.
In the card,
In the card cloak. So that'll be it for the Sky changes this patch. Let us know how you enjoy throwing Sky's bomb onto a bunch of random noobs and getting pentakills.
Whoa, BM.
She's OP. She's OP now. Now we got to nerf her. We got to think of nerfs next patch. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Please don't. Don't say that on Reddit. Here we go. Shaolin, he's the next one. And this is actually an interesting change. Good quality of life change, I think. I've asked for Shaolin, I think, to kind of stay a really good but like not too OP champion for a while. And that's kind of where he's been, right? He's kind of like on her, right? He's got everything. He's a little sneakily OP, but no one really ever seems to complain about him. He's got CC immunity, this and that. Shaolin very much can do a lot of different things, but Planted was definitely one of the most, I think, complained about aspects of his kit. I think so, because of just the way it felt sometimes to get killed by
it's a really interesting issue because it's not even the core concept of Planted. Like, if I root myself to do an increased amount of damage, like in our game with RTTK, that's like semi-acceptable. It's just the kind of how it synergizes with some of his other abilities that was the egregious thing. And that's what we look to fix. So Planted is still by far a very powerful ability. Same damage, didn't lower it. The chains that we're talking about is that now we increased the pre-fire on the ability. So it's going to take you longer to fire your first arrow. And the goal here is to limit the amount of insta-gibs, basically. Once you impale, combo into the Planted, and just drop a damage or flank class and erase them.
Right.
Because Impale Arrow is a very strong ability. You can stun someone for a few seconds from almost anywhere across the map very quickly without much feedback. So like that, I can be in a wall and be like, oh, where's the Shaolin? And he can be 200 yards away, implanted, sending the stream of arrows that's going to end me. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
And we'd just like to eliminate some of that frustration. You can still do a lot of damage in that combo. It's just you give a slightly more better chance.
I think it comes out to about 1 less arrow while you're stunned. So you'll get control back before one of those arrows would have killed you.
And typically there's not even a need for like all the arrows that he sends at you. Usually it's like 1 or 2, you know, because you're talking about you already hit him for 1,000 health. I mean, how much health do you have if you're impaled? I mean,
if you're using it in that regard,
it really only takes 2 or 3. So at the end of the day, I feel like this is largely going to not affect his playstyle, but will feel better, I think, against countering him if that's your attempt. Maybe it'll allow Maeve with Artful Dodger to get out, you know, a little faster and cleanse that before taking so much damage. So that's going to do it for the balance section today. A lot of cool changes. We're excited to see the PTS and all of that. But before we get into the final section, we want to bring it right back to where we were before balance. That's the new champion, Seris. You know all about her. You've seen her skills, her kit. I know you're excited to play her, but we have her voice pack that we didn't show you. We're ready for that right now in game to take a listen to the Oracle of the Abyss.
Woohoo. Woohoo.
She's so enthusiastic.
Let me look into your future. I hate it when I walk into another dimension and forget why I'm here. Let me look into your future. The abyss cries out, and your soul is soon to answer. You'd like to see a trick? Watch as I make
jokes.
your life disappear.
Oh, that laugh.
Oh, that laugh, yeah. Shout outs to our audio guys.
Well,
Yeah, that
Truly the
voice
master of
processing
your
is
destiny.
masterful. It's really good.
Really, really cool stuff. So that is Seris. A little bit of a taste. And Nick, you have changed. It's not Bomb King,
Yet
it's
again.
Cassie.
Yes.
Surprise.
Welcome to the Patch Note Show.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you're here for some community, as
Yes,
always.
I have community questions, but first, I come bearing good news.
Excuse me? What news?
This is
It's Friday.
Yeah, it is Friday.
Friday.
There's even better news.
Okay.
A highly requested community feature we're going to be implementing in the OB48 PTS, and that is integrated voice chat.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Now, it's not going to be in live OB48. It's just going to be in the PTS starting this weekend. Yes. But we're going to have the full details in the patch notes, so you can opt in. We want you guys to test it, give us your feedback, how you feel about it. Go on the forums, go on Reddit, tell us about it. But this will be our first try with voice chat on PC.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Chat wins.
This is something we've wanted for like
Chat
a
wins.
really
Yes.
long time. We've wanted this forever. We're a competitive shooter. You guys care a lot about the communication in your matches, so get in that PTS, test it out, let us know how it's working.
I'm really excited to see how it works because everyone's wanted so much. I mean, I feel like there are a lot of things that come with voice chat in a game. And some are good, some are just the nature of competitive games mean that sometimes people not be the happiest when they're voice chatting with you, so you got to be susceptible to that. But
There's a
hopefully-
mute function, so
Yeah. Hey. Okay, when I get in games with you, Garrett, I know what to do.
yeah,
There we
pretty
go.
BM.
So we got community questions.
Yes.
Thank you for that, Alyssa. I'm sure chat's extremely excited. And what do we got here on the community?
All
What's on
right.
the community's mind?
So the first question is from Aaron Xbox Live, and the question is, are there any plans to give the tutorial more depth?
Yes, absolutely. As many people know, the tutorial is very gameplay based. But also, as many people know, there's so much more to Paladins than just going in and learning how to ADS as Victor. But yes, to
all I
answer your
know.
question, we would like to do a very in-depth card deck building tutorial, illustrating maybe even like a UI walkthrough, that kind of thing. And it's just about getting the right people on it and spending the time to do it. But yeah, we're working on it.
All right. Next question is, what was your reasoning behind removing the Radiant chest rewards on Champion Masteries level 2 and 3? And do you guys have a plan to implement more mastery rewards other than just gold?
Yes. So the reason that those were removed was in part due to the second part of the question. We are right now kind of building out our progression system to make way for some cosmetics that are to come down the line. Potentially maybe some mastery skins or maybe some emotes, something like that, to really give you the value of kind of progressing your character, and those just needed to be kind of shuffled around for proper priority.
That sounds good.
And we may not be done yet also with that. So
Oh, sounds
fair
good.
warning.
I've
Exciting.
seen a sneak peek of some of those things. They look pretty cool.
They look pretty dope.
All right. The next question is, lately there have been a lot of discussions about competitive mode, so what changes do you want to implement on it as soon as possible?
So there are a lot of changes that we would like to implement on it. Anywhere from, actually, I think we're fixing some of the bugs too in this patch. Hopefully I'm not doing the wrong quotes here. But some like the improper picking orders was fixed recently, and then also proper just queuing. A lot of the community right now is asking for, we want better systems, we want better matchmaking, that kind of thing. We've done a Q&A in the past, but to really do a full kind of holistic look at the competitive system is very important to us. We're gonna probably roll out something that is very like a complete package. So it'll be like, we're reaching that point right now where bans are a thing or are gonna need to be a thing.
Yeah.
So we'd like to have it come out all together and kind of just synergize off of itself.
Right.
And not just kind of like string out little things and just be one nuance, like boom, 2.0 or, you know, something like that. So,
Gotcha.
yes, priority, working on it. Thanks for your patience, guys.
We got another one?
Nope, that's it.
That's it? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Wow, that was kind of short, Alyssa. Do you have a question for the world? Do you have a question in your life? Garrett can counsel
Still
you?
figuring it out.
Still figuring it out. Aren't we all?
Yep.
Aren't we all
True
still
that.
figuring it out, for real? Everything else, Pulse seems good. That's going to be the community side of things. Thank you for bringing some questions in. Remember to, where do you put that on? Reddit? Do you put it on Twitter as well?
Yeah, the patch notes?
No, for the questions, so people can make sure to get their questions into
Yes,
you.
we post on Reddit, and then you can also tweet us at #Paladins Patch Preview.
Awesome. So
That's
make
right.
sure to do that before the Patch Notes show. We have another one coming up in 2 weeks. Obviously, it's been a highlight reel for today. We've got 3 great new skins, a new chest. We've got a new champion, Seris, Oracle of the Abyss, some fantastic balance changes for all your favorite champions. And, of course, you can try out voice chat for the first time in Paladins on the PTS. That's a public test server. You can download that at forums.paladins.com. So make sure to do that tonight. Garrett, is it on today, tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. Hopefully, it might be on right after this show. So
Make sure to
it,
get
guys.
that as soon as possible. My name's Rain Day. This is High Res Alyssa. That's High Res Martini, a.k.a. Garrett. We've had High Res Holt, High Res Driver, and High Res Pretty here with us as well. And this is High Res Studios. As always, never give up, never stop gaming. And we'll see you all in the realm.